I'm 45 years old, I've been farming since I was 16, and my body is just, I'm not gonna make it more than 5 years. And I'm wondering, I was inspired by your push-up routine at the beginning. My question is, are you considering physical breakdown at this point in some of your really young lives and some of your not that much younger than me lives? Because it's a real thing, man. What are you doing?
We addressed this idea really early on because we were seeing, farmers around us. Everyone's in physical therapy. Everybody's got problems, and we're very concerned with that. We do not have health care, either of us, so that's a big concern, obviously, to stay healthy. We are very conscientious over the past few years about ergonomics on the farm. Just making sure things aren't too hard or too heavy. That's part of the winter squash decision-making process. We don't grow it because we don't want to carry it. And in the fall, I'm tired, I'm not thinking about my muscles properly, and I'm going to lift something wrong. I know I am. So we just don't do those things. And to us, that it was worth cutting crops for that type of idea. Also, the biggest time that we would probably injure ourselves is in the spring, because all winter we've been doing nothing, So what we've started doing is joining gyms in the winter, and just trying to stay healthy and trying to eat well and cut the calories by half so we don't gain weight, so we're not too heavy. Really thinking about those things. And just really in the past 2 years, we've been implementing that really well. Like in spring, I'm not tired anymore. It's amazing how a little bit of aerobic activity every week can really help. It does help. They say it does, it does. So I was just surprised by that. I don't know why, but it has helped me in particular. I have a lot more energy, and I feel like, as long as we just keep considering the ergonomic aspect and, using carts. Don't carry something heavy as far if you don't have to. Like we use garden carts all the time, and drive the van closer if we have to. It really does. It might take a couple extra seconds, but you won't hurt yourself. So that's how I think about it, and so far it's working. We'll see.
Also, we do have a longer term plan that is not as entirely fleshed out because of lack of conference this summer, but working towards the future. I don't know if this sort of intensive activity is the long-term plan, and I don't think it is. There are other plans that we've had since freshman year of college that I think we're still moving towards. I can't speak to those right now, but they do involve that consideration.
That was actually a really good segue into my question, because what are your beliefs regarding health insurance and health care? It's obviously difficult to pay for health insurance, especially in the region you guys live in. It's very expensive. I've looked into it. It's much more inexpensive here. Are you hoping someday to be able to afford health insurance, or are there any organizations that may help you be able to purchase health insurance for your families and your workers?
We're returning right now from a visit with our families back in Denver, and this is like a repeat of the holidays. You'll probably next somebody will ask me when we're having kids. Is that coming up next? So, all right.
Well, I ask this because we're...
Yeah. No, I know.
Well, my family and I are trying to start a farm, and we're working through the financial side of it, and we have a young family, so obviously we're really concerned about health care and health insurance, because obviously it's tough to get that when you're on your own.
There are some Vermont programs, but I don't know. We'd like to get it, but I can't spend what even the subsidized or whatever the government program in Vermont is for farmers. They got a farmer advertised on the commercials on TV that he's getting health insurance, but I can't justify that, so I don't know. I'm Barack Obama. Come on.
We have a 16-month-old daughter, and our whole family is covered by insurance that's subsidized by New York State. We actually have a decent New York State program that the poorer you are, the less you pay, and we're pretty darn poor. So we end up getting it for free. Our employees can get into those New York State programs also. Some of them, I guess you guys probably are covered by your parents still. But I wanted to go back to the question about physical work and how that affects your body. That's one reason that didn't come up during our early discussion that the year-round model works for us, because for us and the horses actually, because everybody's working in a steadier, a line that looks like this instead of like this. That said, like Mark's been limping around for about 2 weeks now because he hurt his back. So these are real considerations that I don't know how we're going to deal with in the future. I think those are bridges that we'll cross then. I think serious diversification is probably helps us because we're not doing the same thing every day ever. There's enough difference in the workload of our farm that we're physically doing very different things every day. Anybody want to add anything to that? We also, what's that? One of our members is a physical therapist, and so we've traded him his shares this year for doing maintenance work and emergency work on everybody who works for us. And I think that'll help keep everybody tuned up. We also tend to attract people who are fit and like physical work, like these guys. For example, rugby player, hockey player, people who are used to using their bodies in a fairly intense manner. But like I said, Mr. Mark over here is dealing with a back injury that isn't going away right now, so we'll see.
Oh, let me also add that, we had a free coverage in Vermont as well, but, and is our situation where, so we had to show with our business that we were making more money so that we could convince a bank to loan us the money to buy a house. So that put us over the edge, so it went from free to, $1,000 a month or something. And then, so that's the problem of success, I guess, with money-wise. So now maybe since we bought the house, now we can sort of reduce how much money it looks like we're making on the taxes and get that. I don't know. Well, we're both rule followers. We follow rules, all right? We like rules, we make rules, we follow rules. Breaking the rules in that way, it feels uncomfortable. You might not have a problem with it. I don't know. I'm just suspicious about them, not with this, but we have a real problem with that, so I don't know that's why it's such a conundrum.
You mentioned something before about your hoop house had to be inspected by FEMA and some other places. What was that about?
Okay, the FEMA